famous symbol of Japanese militarism, Hideki Tojo. He took over the premiership in October 41, advocating war with democracy. He ordered the December 7th attack on Pearl Harbor. At war's end, Tojo attempted suicide, not with his samurai swords or harakiri knife. He preferred a US .32 automatic. His suicide attempt, September 11th, 1945, to avoid trial as a war criminal, failed. Tojo was kept alive by transfusions. A Yank sergeant gave his blood so that the Japanese warlord might face justice. At Tokyo's Omori prison, the former premier was the picture of health. 2 months later, as he awaited trial, the #1 war criminal among 40 Japanese leaders held for prosecution on orders from General MacArthur. Fellow officers virtually shunned the man who launched one of history's bloodiest wars. Then in May 46, Tojo was brought to the bar of justice. In Tokyo's former Imperial War Ministry, justices of 11 nations sat in judgment. For the United States, Justice John Higgins of Massachusetts Superior Court. Here, where they once plotted against the peace of the world, Japan's war criminals stood trial. Hideki Tojo was the subject of greatest interest. The newsreel camera was focused on him when a most peculiar incident occurred. One of the accused slapped him on his bald pate. Read by Captain Van Meta, 55 specific charges in the indictment included mass murder for deaths at Shanghai and Pearl Harbor. Tojo and his crew were accused of conspiring to enslave and rule the world. The trial continued, and here in December 1947, Tojo was on the stand. His defense was already running into millions of words. Japan's war criminals learned at least that justice as interpreted by Freedom's Code called for a chance for even the arch-criminal to be heard. Finally, this was the hour in November 48 when Japan's criminal militaristic clique, the wartime premier and his partners in crime, were to face sentencing. It had now become the longest trial on record. Tojo waited out the inevitable. The 11-nation court sentenced each of the top wartime leaders separately. 24th on the list was Tojo, guilty of conspiracy, waging aggressive war and atrocities against allied nations. The sentence, death by hanging.